Agile puts working a product and service over comprehensive documentation. I mentioned this already. I'm looking more on getting value on a product or delivering a product or a service than create comprehensive documentation, a lot of manuals, which maybe nobody will read ever. Agile also looks much more on customer collaboration over contract negotiation. In my experience, this is always a conflict, a point between when you talk to customers about Agile. And because I'm saying, instead of fixing every feature, every scope, every point of the contract, you're saying, well, let's work hand in hand together and define on this journey what will be able. Of course, we want to know, we want to have a car. Is it a limousine or a cabriolet, or is it an electric one? We will see on the journey together. So we are in constant collaboration in much closer way as usually with the end customer. And Agile also puts responding to change over following a plan. So we are much more flexible to see, to listen what the context is saying, what the customer is saying, what our society is saying, and trying to integrate that in our product and service environment instead of just following step by step the initial defined plan and approach. So if I compare Lean and Agile, you have some small kind of attempt to summarize that. But if I would make it in one sense, I would say that Lean helps you to do the thing right and Agile helps you to do the right thing. What does it mean? Lean, usually when I say do the thing right, is that I look on the process and I will try to streamline this process. I will try to get every waste out of this process, make it flow, make it as efficient as possible. That's when I talk about Lean. While when I talk about Agile, is doing the right thing, that I'm really meeting the product or service the customer is expecting. And because this is changing, Agile will be much better, which be a much better methodology and philosophy to hit this target. Of course, there's things which are very, very similar when you talk to Lean and Agile. So if you have already some experience in Lean and you're thinking about implementing Agile, you're in a good shape those values you see here are shared between Lean and Agile. We will focus on customer value. Of course, it's one of the main principles in Lean. You've seen in Agile, we are listening constantly to our content, to our customer. We look on a continuous flow of results. We have a continuous flow in our process in Lean, on a continuous flow of results in Agile. We're looking an emphasis on flexibility versus control. This is a little bit more Agile specific in sense that we are trying to create self-managed or self-managed groups and organization that they are focusing on delivering the value which is expected to do. Both pursue continuous improvement and of course both are based fundamentally on respect for people. So can we combine Lean and Agile? Yes, you can. Here's an example. On the left side, a conceptual example. Let me spend 2 words on Lean Startup, which is a kind of applying Lean principles to the startup world. You might heard the term minimum viable product, which is a concept which comes out of this Lean Startup approach, which is basically what it's saying is clear. And in my plan to check act cycle, which is how I deliver or how I do continuous improvement when delivering my product or service, which is a Lean concept, right? So what it means in, let's say, Lean Startup is I'm planning a new product, I'm building it, I'm listening, and I measure it, I reflect, and I start again, over and over. And then, but on the building process, then it comes perfectly together with Agile, for example, on how this prototyping or even this minimum, creating this minimum viable product, you can do this in an Agile approach with an Agile, applying an Agile methodology. for example, Scrum. And when I say Scrum, there is a tool, because the left part of this slide is more conceptually. The right part of this slide is talking about a specific tool. It's called Scrumban. I mentioned at the very beginning Kanban. Maybe that's more familiar to you. Kanban, which is a visual board to control your flow. But there's a so-called tool, Scrumban, which applies the Kanban advantages to the sprint approach of delivering and creating value. So there are specific tools when you are combining, when these two words come together, lean and agile.